In 2026, North Korea's military landscape took yet another unexpected turn, surprising analysts, unsettling its neighbors, and once again drawing the eyes of the world toward the Korean peninsula. For decades, the country has relied on a combination of secrecy, layered defense strategies, and intense domestic research to maintain a deterrence posture. Yet what unfolded this year was not simply an incremental upgrade, but a deeply calculated overhaul of its air defense architecture, a system designed to shield the nation from any aerial threat, from low-flying drones to hypersonic glide vehicles. At the heart of this transformation lies the new Integrated Air Defense Network, a web of radars, missile batteries, and automated command centers that link together in real time. This is not just a defensive barrier, it's a multi-layered shield, carefully optimized to counter modern threats that no single weapon alone could defeat. Over the years, North Korea had depended heavily on a mix of Soviet-era systems, reverse-engineered hardware, and locally developed technology. But in 2026, the changes revealed something far more sophisticated, a hybrid system blending old reliability with new generation capabilities. The backbone of this defense is the new Pyongyang-6 surface-to-air missile system, which appears to draw heavy inspiration from the Russian S-400 and S-350 designs, yet is distinct enough to indicate indigenous modifications. With an estimated range of 250 kilometers against large aircraft and around 40 kilometers against ballistic missiles, the Pyongyang-6 is positioned to create a protective bubble over key regions of the country. What makes this system notable is its high-frequency AESA radar, a phased array radar capable of tracking over 100 targets simultaneously, with claimed resistance to electronic countermeasures. This radar, mounted on mobile platforms, allows rapid redeployment and greater survivability against preemptive strikes. One of the most intriguing aspects of North Korea's 2026 air defense announcement is the addition of a short to medium-range defense tier specifically aimed at combating drones and low observable aircraft. This tier, known unofficially among observers as the Chongmyong-4 system, utilizes optical and infrared tracking alongside radar guidance to engage targets that conventional radar might miss. Reports suggest it can intercept targets as small as quadcopters, hinting at its utility against swarming drone attacks, a threat that has rapidly become a central concern for militaries worldwide. The structure of the new defense network appears to follow a layered doctrine. At the highest altitude, long-range missiles like the Pyongyang-6 patrol the skies, forming a deterrent against strategic bombers, surveillance aircraft, and ballistic missiles. Beneath this layer, medium-range systems, some adapted from the earlier Not-So-6 designs, provide coverage against tactical aircraft and cruise missiles. At the lowest tier, rapid-fire autocannons, man-portable air defense systems, and laser-based prototypes focus on immediate point defense. The synergy of these layers is intended to make it costly and complex for any adversary to penetrate North Korean airspace. A critical change in 2026 is the integration of command and control. Previous systems often relied on semi-autonomous batteries with limited communication between units. Now, a central air defense operations network coordinates threat detection, prioritization, and engagement orders. This means that if a hostile aircraft enters North Korean airspace, its location and flight path are shared instantly with multiple batteries, ensuring redundancy and minimizing the risk of a single system being overwhelmed. The use of fiber optic and encrypted microwave communication channels further hardens this network against electronic warfare attacks. Satellite imagery and open-source intelligence throughout the year have revealed a steady build-up of air defense sites, not only around Pyongyang but also in key coastal and border regions. Mobile launchers have been spotted near Wonsan, Chongjin, and along the demilitarized zone. The distribution suggests a strategic intent to cover potential approach corridors from the sea, as well as the heavily militarized southern border. Some analysts speculate that these deployments also serve as a political signal to both South Korea and the United States, a reminder that North Korea is not only focused on offensive missile development but also on securing its skies against preemptive strikes. Another component gaining attention is the incorporation of passive detection systems. These are ground-based arrays that can detect aircraft without emitting radar waves, instead analyzing distortions in existing radio and television signals caused by moving objects. Such systems are difficult to detect and destroy because they do not reveal their own position by emitting energy. By combining passive and active detection, North Korea increases its chances of spotting stealth aircraft, which are typically designed to evade traditional radar. In addition to conventional missile interceptors, 2026 also marked the first public mention of directed energy defense experiments. Though far from operational, state media showcased what appeared to be mobile laser platforms during a military parade. Official statements claim these are intended to target small drones and precision-guided munitions, a defensive measure that could be cost-effective compared to expending expensive missiles on low-value threats. Whether these systems are fully functional or largely for display remains uncertain, but their appearance indicates that North Korea is at least aware of, and potentially pursuing, emerging defense technologies. The logistical backbone supporting these air defense systems has also evolved. In previous years, North Korea's missile batteries often faced limitations in resupply speed and mobility. The new configurations use all-terrain vehicles with faster reload mechanisms, suggesting that crews can reposition and rearm much quicker. This mobility is a key survival factor in modern warfare, where stationary air defense sites are vulnerable to precision strikes. Additionally, the incorporation of camouflage nets, inflatable decoys, and false radar signatures complicates enemy targeting efforts, forcing an attacker to spend more time and resources verifying targets. Economically, these advancements raise questions. North Korea operates under heavy international sanctions, limiting its access to advanced components. Yet, the sophistication of the 2026 systems implies either a high degree of domestic manufacturing capability or covert foreign assistance. Reverse engineering remains a likely factor, but the rapid leap suggests that certain radar modules, missile guidance chips, and precision optics may have been obtained through clandestine channels. This combination of secrecy, ingenuity, and possible external input allows North Korea to punch above its weight in the defense sector. From a strategic perspective, the upgraded air defense system serves multiple purposes beyond pure defense. First, it acts as a deterrent, discouraging hostile air operations over or near North Korean territory. Second, it provides a political bargaining chip in diplomatic negotiations, demonstrating technological advancement and the ability to protect strategic assets. Finally, it bolsters domestic morale by projecting an image of strength and self-reliance. In the tightly controlled narrative of North Korean state media, images of missiles launching skyward, radars scanning the horizon, and soldiers operating sophisticated equipment reinforce the idea that the nation stands ready against any threat. For neighboring countries, the implications are significant. South Korea, Japan, and US forces stationed in the region must now account for a more capable and resilient North Korean air defense network. This complicates contingency planning for any potential air campaign, as the risks to aircraft manned or unmanned are now higher. It may also push adversaries to invest more heavily in standoff weapons, cyber warfare tools, and stealth platforms to counter this growing shield. In essence, North Korea's improvements have sparked a quiet arms race in the skies above East Asia. Training and readiness have also seen notable upgrades. Footage released by North Korean media in 2026 shows crews conducting rapid deployment drills, live-fire exercises against drone targets, and simulated mass attack scenarios. These exercises not only test equipment performance but also refine crew coordination under pressure. The emphasis on mobility and speed suggests that North Korea is preparing to face modern warfare conditions, where air defense units must adapt quickly to shifting threats. Perhaps one of the most underreported but important developments is the integration of cyber defense within the air defense network. Modern air defense relies heavily on digital systems, making them vulnerable to hacking, spoofing, or jamming. North Korea appears to have implemented layers of cybersecurity, including air-gapped command networks and locally developed encryption protocols. While it's impossible to verify their effectiveness from the outside, the acknowledgement of cyber threats marks a shift toward more comprehensive protection measures. In the broader context, North Korea's 2026 air defense evolution reflects the nation's enduring strategy: asymmetric deterrence. Lacking the economic and industrial scale to match major powers plane for plane or ship for ship, Pyongyang instead focuses on making any potential attack prohibitively risky. By raising the cost and complexity of penetrating its airspace, North Korea increases the strategic calculus required for any adversary considering military action. The psychological aspect of this defense cannot be overstated. In military strategy, perception often matters as much as reality. Even if certain capabilities are exaggerated or experimental, the mere possibility that they might work forces opponents to act cautiously. This, in turn, buys North Korea valuable time in the event of conflict, time that could be used for mobilization, diplomacy, or retaliatory preparations. As 2026 progresses, it remains unclear how much of the new air defense system has reached full operational readiness and how much is still in testing phases. Nonetheless, the combination of upgraded missiles, advanced radar, layered defenses, and mobility represents a clear shift from the more static, Soviet-inspired networks of the past. It is a move toward a dynamic, adaptive shield designed to counter not just the threats of today, but the anticipated challenges of tomorrow's battlefields. In the final analysis, the North Korean air defense upgrades of 2026 send a simple but potent message: the nation's skies will not be an easy target. Whether these advancements will be enough to counter the technological edge of its adversaries is a question only real-world conflict could answer, and one that the world hopes will remain hypothetical. Until then, the Korean Peninsula's airspace will continue to be one of the most heavily defended and closely watched in the world, a tense arena where technology, strategy, and politics intersect in a delicate balance that could tip with a single miscalculation.